I recently made a video about INFPs, and it actually was hitting more people than I was necessarily expecting. And it made me realize that even the few people that encountered this video and felt something when they seen it, there's always a far greater number of people out there. Whenever you're experiencing something that you might think is unique to yourself, always know that there's a million and more other people out there dealing with that very same thing. And just putting that video out there, really, it allowed me to kind of scratch the surface and see like, oh, okay, like even just people feeling and connecting to people that are similar to them, because if you're an INFP and you come across another INFP, it's almost like family in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Because being a rare type, and being in a world that's loud while being a soul that is introverted and has a rich inner world and doesn't necessarily always want to project everything that's going on in that inner world outwardly, it feels good to recognize somebody who has a similar psyche and approach to life. It kind of feels like home in a sense. And it's like we never know who we could affect just sharing what it is that we have in common and that relatability. The superpower of the INFP is magnificent, you know what I'm saying? God put certain things in the INFP to give the INFP a certain amount of care and a certain amount of creativity and a certain amount of empathy that is severely lacking in a society of people that just want to follow and people that want to be loud and people that want to take charge in a way that's abrasive and rude, and it's not necessary. And it's almost as like as INFPs, we kind of recognize that, there's a smoother way of doing things, and there's a more humanitarian way of dealing with people. And we are so necessary, you know what I'm saying, in these trying times. I personally believe that the world is only going to continue to get worse. But if we could ease the pain a little bit, slow the burn a little bit, love covers a multitude of sins, you know what I'm saying? And being as empathetic as we are, it's almost like we have a responsibility to use our empathy skills to support other people. And to understand other people. Because in this day and age, there's a lot of people walking around feeling like they're alone, feeling like they're misunderstood, and that's not even true. Because as I said, there's a million other people struggling with the same thing you are. Social media has isolated people in mass numbers, and people choose to be addicted to it consciously and even subconsciously, of course. An addiction that drives us away from our nature. So widespread and so ugly, and we all know it's a problem. So when are we gonna withdraw? You know what I'm saying? as INFPs, you have a great ability to inspire people through your creative endeavors. Don't underestimate abilities that God has put in you, because they are powerful and they are meant to serve. And when you use them in that way, you will be rewarded. One thing that I found being an INFP is that we do tend to not necessarily like to have a plan when we go into things. Oftentimes we just want to feel in that moment and make decisions based upon how things feel to us. And I do believe that that's great, and there's a great freedom to that. And I also believe that we can create plans, and when we do create plans, especially when dealing with people, because we do tend to have a limited, maybe a limited source of energy or expressiveness that we want to share when we get around people, because it's like, as an INFP, we want what we do to be of a high quality, right? We want our words to come across high quality, I should say. And I believe that has a large reason to do with why we want to withdraw after short periods of time, because we know that, when our battery drains to a certain degree, the things that come out of us may not be as high quality. They may not necessarily come from a place of inspiration after so much time. And by withdrawing, we're able to recharge. But if we go in there with a plan, we can concentrate more of that energy during that allotted time that we have to communicate. And focusing that energy will allow us to get more done and be more effective. And that's just more beneficial, instead of going in there and winging everything all the time and just hoping for the best. And then you can still go and retreat and recharge and, come back when you're ready to. People often do fear what they don't understand. And being one of the rare personality types out there, you are going to get some people who are maybe going to be leery of you, or maybe be nervous to approach you. And hell, you may not want to approach people because you just, oftentimes you want to observe and you want to take things in slowly, or whatever the case. I know there's different personalities within the INFP. It's not like we're all just exactly the same. And I do believe that coming from that space of wanting to take everything in slowly and wanting to observe. If people are somehow discomforted in your silence, that really doesn't have anything to do with you. Some people who are on the extroverted spectrum, very far on the extroverted spectrum, I've noticed that they just can't, they don't know how to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is in them to just blah, 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 and you just be like, bro, like, do you have to fill up every void of silence? Like, no, you don't. And it's no shade to extroverted people. There's plenty of extroverted people that I love. There's plenty of extroverted people who do have good things to say. But there's a lot of people who just talk out of their butt. And if they want to get uncomfortable with you being silent, you not wanting to open up fast, you not wanting to necessarily come out and share every little detail, or people trying to like force you to explain things and you're not ready to explain it, don't let anybody force you to do things that aren't on your own terms. And, you know, understand that there's always going to be more power in keeping your mouth shut than running it. You're going to be greatly underestimated. And if you've been an INFP for more than 15 years, I'm saying there could be some younger people watching this video, but if you've been an INFP for more than 15 years, you're definitely going to notice by now that people have underestimated you at times, and you have proven to have abilities that other people didn't see coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to be cocky about it or nothing like that. It's just when you restrain, or when you sort of hold things in, I'm not talking about someone who's bottling up a bunch of negativity and then they have an outburst, but when you keep a lot of things to yourself, your ideas and your plans and maybe certain stories and maybe certain experiences and things that you've been through, you don't put it in a place where people can just sabotage it, right? And because it's not sabotage, when you put it out at the right time and for the right purpose, it comes out more wholesome, right? It comes out more powerful, more potent. You're not as doubtful. You haven't ran everything that's inside of you through the filter of society. And that's the best thing ever, because society can be really garbage. And when you filter things that are going on inside of you through the lens of society, oh man, you're just asking to get beat up. You're asking to lose. You're asking for people to judge, people with no perspective, people with small minds. And as an INFP, people that are thinking from a limited space and a puny perspective are probably one of your greatest pet peeves. Because as an INFP, you're a person of understanding, right? You're a person of acceptance. You're a person of kindness. And all of this leads to you having a more open and accepting point of view. Where you're not just immediately arriving at a conclusion that's negative, because trust me, that's what society trains society to do. Okay, all my fellow INFPs out there, remain strong. Keep being a soldier. Keep being unique. Keep being you. Keep keeping it fresh. And I love you. Stay blessed.